No.
Okay, well we'll do the sexual work encounters next. Then we'll go serious. Then we'll end on the funny part.
Okay.
All right, sexual work encounters. Recently, there was University of Tennessee, not University of Tennessee. 5 Tennessee cops were fired because they were having an orgy. Now, this wasn't a typical orgy. This was 4 black men and one damsel in distress white woman.
Well, are we really calling Megan a damsel in distress?
Hell no. This is
Megan, we gonna call her Megan, the fuck police officer. The police officer that likes to fuck a lot. And
Literally.
she had sex with another cop and his wife, and a host of other people. But it sounds like somebody was hating.
100%.
Somebody mad that they was not.
And it was Todd.
Yeah, or maybe it was like, I'm gonna promise to fuck you, but then I'm not gonna fuck you for real. But I'm just trying to hold you over. I'm gonna say,
and he's sitting in the living room waiting. You know, like his turn.
Like, I'm tapped out. But his dick probably
no, you promised me.
Well, nigga, you got dick cheese. I don't want to fuck. So I just really. I'm just saying, like, it's just really weird how things get out, and it's like, but actually, no, I think they were also fucking at the station. They fucked at the station.
Yeah, that's where they got in trouble at, or maybe not. I don't know. Somebody hated because there's no way that this was going to be found unless somebody that wasn't getting hated.
Unless they was fucking like in a conference room or somewhere where they probably have cameras. Like, you gotta probably remember that there are cameras somewhere to probably corridors.
Yeah. But how do they know about the group sex stuff though? Like, is that like that's not? I'm assuming that's not. I'm assuming that. Well, maybe they did. Shit, I don't know. Maybe they. What they did have group sex in the fucking lunch break room.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they might have. Maybe somebody walked in on them. That's how, I don't know, but it's like the police station is open 24 hours.
But I thought it was at somebody's house they were saying that they were doing it at.
They was fucking. She was getting around. She was having a good time.
Damn. And you said one of them brought his wife too, right? You said, right?
Yeah, she fucked the wife too. So she was really having a good time. I'm not mad at her. Like, we don't sex shame on here at all.
No.
We don't sex shame. We're talking about the I'm telling the listeners, we don't sex shame. We don't slut shame. Whatever you do it proudly, and we support you fully.
Carisha and Diddy, do what y'all do.
Yeah. Another thing, like, going back to, do we really need to know that? But and he might not be peeing on her, but she just enjoys. That's not, but then it's like, but now we're inquisitive, and I'm like, Carisha, okay, so do you like, when you say you like being peed on, is it like we in the shower and this nigga pee on your legs, or is it like after sex and after he come, like they tell you to pee? Is it like, do you lay a towel down and does he pee on your chest? Or does he pee in your mouth? Like, what's happening? Like, because now inquiring minds want to know. So now we really want to dive into your business, and now you're going to be mad that we want to know. Well, you told us, and now it's like it's public information. So I feel like we deserve all the details.
Yeah, we just don't need to know this stuff, man. Let's just.
Everything don't need to be said. But have you ever had a sexual work encounter?
At work?
At work, maybe with a coworker outside of work. Like, what was happening?
Never. I'm never in with a coworker or at work or nothing.
Really?
One time, only one time, I had some sick duck. One time outside one of my parties by a coworker. That was it.
You did what?
Some sick duck.
What's that?
Take the S, move the S to the back. I mean the S to the front and move it around.
Maybe my hearing is just messed up.
No. Sick duck. You never heard that?
No.
from Outkast, where basically Big Boy changed around is basically dick suck, like where you just move it.
Oh, okay. So you got your pee pee sucked by somebody.
Sick duck, yeah, sick duck. So move the S to the back.
Okay. Okay, so that's still a sexual encounter with a coworker.
I know. That's what I said. I'm saying that's one time.
But you said no, and then you're gonna tell us yes.
Yeah, no. I had to think about it at the same time.
Your shit.
Yeah. That was the only time though. I was at one of my parties, and then I felt bad about because then she was like wanting to talk to me all the time and stuff like, or whatever, and I was like, I mean, I was drunk, you was drunk. I had to go count the money, so I had to go back in. So I was just walking you to your car, you know.
Oh, so this was like a free time event.
Yeah, this is back when we was on high heyday.
Everybody, I want y'all to know that
here we go.
Everybody hasn't been following us for a long time. Daryl and his friends, and it's funny because Adrian constantly has been coming up often. They had a promotional group. They had a party group. It was an entertainment. I would like to call y'all entertainment group.
Yeah, we didn't do just parties. We did all kinds of.
I didn't do parties. I did comedy shows, different things, and yeah. So they threw all these dope ass parties. Some of them would be themed. Like I enjoy teas.
Yep, glow.
But yeah, so Daryl used to get down. Daryl used to be out here. Let me tell y'all. Like I told y'all earlier, like how I met Daryl is through Adrian. When I was working with Adrian's sister at Baker's.
That's right. Yeah.
And it was like I thought maybe he thought I was cute, but it was just him being nice and inviting me out. And I was like, oh, I'm underage. And then he was like, no, I got you. I'm gonna get you in. And so I really thought this nigga thought I was cute. But it's fine. And but everybody, it was like everybody loved y'all. Like all the girls like wanted to be with one of y'all. And that's why it's even funnier now looking back. But yeah, okay, got some free time dick.
Yeah, that was it. That's the only time.
And she really liked you. Let me tell you, because it was end of the night, dick. So you was like mixing and mingling with people.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna need to put an addendum on that. Does that count people that work for me, like when we were throwing parties? Does this include that, or is this only like regular gig coworkers?
Did you make money?
Yeah,
it's a job. It's a career.
No, it's not a job. That's not a job. That was my business.
It was something that you love to do. So it wasn't what we consider like regular labor, because it's not like, oh, I'm doing this because I have. What
if I hired said girl to work for us, but I already had the encounter before that? And
don't count because she wasn't on payroll yet.
Okay, so then that's just that one thing. Most of the time, I only put you on staff. You know what I'm saying? After Okay, what about after you was on staff? I'm gonna be stopped before.
Only works when it's like
during that time. So it isn't if after you were co-workers anymore, don't count.
No.
Okay, only once then.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really against that.
So I'm the mess on here. I'm the messy one.
I'm against that in general.
Like I'm messy. Like I think about. Now, when I worked in St. Louis, I will say it's more LA based. Like I would flirt with this one guy when I worked at Nordstrom in St. Louis, and then when we hooked up, by that time I had already moved, so it was like different. So it don't count. But yeah, man, I was telling Fair more to the story because she was talking about her encounters when she worked at this firehouse, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, when I worked at oh my gosh, when I worked at said retailer, one of my coworkers, he flicked whipped cream on my boobs. Well, it was my cleavage. It wasn't my boobs. My titties wasn't out, and he licked it off. We were in the stock room. But we would go out, we would kick it, like it would get stuff would intertwine. I probably messed with a couple of people on the floor. Like now that I think about it, like in the apartment, like looking back, because like apparently one time when we got wasted, I don't really recall making out with the person. He's the person that also flicked the whipped cream on my boobs, but we would flirt a lot. He was fine as hell, and I remember also there was this other cat when he came to our department. I was kind of talking to this other dude who was the manager of the other shoe department, and then he was like saying that we was too flirty and all this stuff, and I was like, "You're not my dude." And that was also the dude that like that manager was like, "I feel like you don't need me for nothing." And I was like, well, "I'm so confused. What do you mean?" And he was like, "You don't nothing. Like you don't ask me for money. You don't ask me to help you." I was like, "Am I supposed to? Like, do you want to pay my rent? Because I'm never not gonna tell you no." Like the fuck, like this is the bullshit that we encounter out here. And then I was talking to the dude on the low in the men's shoe department. And then I hooked up with this other dude in the rail.
Yo, you was messy, yo.
I was like low key with it, but because I'm a flirty person in general, so you wouldn't know what was real and what was fake. So I was just being my normal self. And then when I moved on to work in Beverly Hills, it was a dude. Like out the gate, I thought he was very attractive, but he was kind of like he really date black girls. And I was like, I don't know, I'm so confused. And so I like checked
So he
him.
told you that, Dom? Or you just figured this out that he don't date black girls? He just told you that?
Yeah, it was like really weird because he was hella flirting with me, but he was black, and so I was like, this is so confusing because you totally are hitting on me, and I'm not making this up. And so we had like this conversation one day, and I called him out, and like I was like, it's one thing to have a preference, but as a black woman and meeting your family, like I had just met his family, not like like, oh, I want you to meet my family, but it was like we were all at work and they came in. I was like, hey, I think it would be very like hurtful to your black niece, your black sister, your black mother, if they heard what you just said to me. And so once I broke down the stuff, like you can have a preference, that's one thing, but I'm like, be cognizant of your words, because words mean things. And as a person that's on the receiving end of that does not feel good. So if you like, and honestly, black girls, we don't be doing shit to nobody, and y'all just be telling us this shit.
Yeah, but there's no purpose in saying it.
There's no purpose in saying it. But again, this nigga was flirting with me because I'm telling you, it's not like this person is just being nice. And so from that moment, from like checking him and like breaking it down to him and the history behind it, this nigga was on my line. But I felt like because of that, I could never like do anything with him just to like mess with, like just, I just want you to always beg for the pussy.
Yep.
So I ended up messing with this other dude that
See, you are the messy one. And maybe you know what, and maybe I don't know, I've never worked retail for real. So maybe that's a part of it as well. I've been corporate since college, so I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like corporate affairs be happening, but it's just like
it's hard to maneuver that because you don't know if you're gonna get a sexual harassment suit too.
Right.
Retail is a little bit more. It's like, okay, I'm really spending time with them talking all the time, so I can kind of feel it out. Corporate, you just in a meeting here and there. You go out there like, yo, what's up with you for later on? You may not have a job on Monday.
You're right. And so I ended up messing with this other dude that I really didn't want to mess with because I was bored. And he was trying to recruit me to like hook up with him and his wife. And I'm like, why people always want me to fuck them and their wife? Or why do, it's a whole thing. So I was like, okay, no. But at first I was like, yo, I'll do it for a fee. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm a female. Fee Emphasis on that fee. Ain't nothing in life for free, my nigga.
Yo, you're wilding right now.
I know. I'm sorry. Anyway, ultimately, I got my pussy 8 on the clock, but that's neither here nor there.
Yo, you was wilding for real.
So I go back to the people I really want to hook up with. We made out in the stock room one time. We had an
lean on my mic. Oh my god.
So y'all, so I did. We made out in the stock room, and then he came over one day because he had. I bought some weed from him, and then we like hooked up a little. Like we made out, but I didn't. I was like, oh, I'm just getting on my period. I don't want it to be like our first encounter. Lying because I still could not fuck him. Just based on that, this nigga till this day still be calling me like, so what's up? I'm like, nigga, I'm not ever gonna fuck you.
And we're talking about over a decade ago at this point.
Dog, at this point, I've been gone from this job since like 2016.
Oh shit! So yeah, it's damn near a decade. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what? The day before he got married, called me. Was begging. He just hit me up recently again. I'm like, I'm sick.
Remember the last excuse I had? Same one.
Dog, but he fine. He's still fine. I feel like he would make like the perfect lawyer. I feel like he should go to law school. Because he looks like he would be like an amazing.
He looks like he would be a good lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if y'all have had a little tryst at the workplace.
We had a good time. It was messy. There were some people that lied and said we had encounters, and I was like, never.
And once again, in the comments below, or email us as well.
Yeah, tell us y'all work sex stories. Like, we want to know.
I know y'all some heathens. Dom, you a heathen. But this is heathen.